I get into flow states when I do these videos, so when there's an opportunity to do one, I won't decline. Today, I have been sedated the whole day. That's a peculiar way to describe it for sure, but all I've done today is stay in my room. I can cope and say I did good habits, or at least habits which aren't completely degenerate. However, I did end up doing degenerate habits as a result of staying inside. I was watching a podcast, or an interview more like, with a very notorious person you've probably seen on the internet, and I've had a bit of a realization. All this time, from mid-16 to 18 now, making money, or the idea of having money, has been pretty fundamental in my virtues, values, and the way I lead my life, the way I penetrate the world, the way I pervade each situation and unfolding predicament. But I want to scratch that. From now, I want my main priority to be experience. I'm very much, you could say, an unexperienced 18-year-old. If there was an XP bar, using video games of course, as everyone knows, video game analogies, if I had an XP bar right here, goes all the way up here, the average would be somewhere. I'd be below that average. Now, the reason I've come to this conclusion of being rich in experience and broke on paper is the concept of how money changes you. Money is an amplifier. If you've heard this around, you might have. It's a very, very intelligent delineation of what money actually does to the person who has it. Okay? Because in some cases, money ends up owning you. You don't own the money owns you and the possessions you buy with it. Money is an amplifier. So before you get rich, if money is an amplifier, if you are in a state where people, or you think people won't like, as in someone who is demotivated, someone who is undeserving, someone who is pretentious, someone who is arrogant, money will multiply that, make it more intense, make it more potent. If that's the case, surely you'd want to change your current state before money becomes the route to which it is exaggerated by. So, ideally, what experience and attributes and characteristics would I want before I was amplified? Well, I would want, first and foremost, experiences that you can only learn from firsthand. You cannot learn by proxy, by reading. You have to learn by you making the mistake. In the self-improvement niche, you could say, or the self-improvement culture, there's an idea that you can learn from other people's mistakes. And of course you can. You can find the solutions for the mistakes you haven't made. But the mistakes you do make will make a much more lasting impression than the recount of a mistake someone else made. Okay? You are your own person, you're sovereign, and you should come first before anyone else. Sounds narcissistic, but if you're providing or you have a responsibility over other people, the only way you can honor that responsibility is by putting yourself first, and them first via proxy. Okay, because they are on the same link, if you will, so to speak. So, I'd like to experience things firsthand. I'd like to make mistakes. I'd like to seek discomfort. Seeking discomfort is obviously uncomfortable in the moment, but more often than not, when you're looking back in retrospect, you're looking with a smile upon your face. Okay? Think about it. The exercise you do, you smile that you did it. Think about the time you nearly died or the injury you got into. More often than not, you smile about it because it's a story to tell. It's something exhilarating, something with risk. No one's going to listen to you if it doesn't involve any risk. So if there's no consequence for your action, then the fuck's the point of retelling the story, bro? I'm writing these down. Bear with the intermission. What was it? First-hand experiences and seeking discomfort. More specifically for the experiences, there's a lot of things. I said first-hand experiences because being rich provides a veil over the real world. The reason, in my opinion at least, that rich people sound posh, they're so civilized, and they have all these almost autistic mannerisms. Like, they'd get annoyed if you put the fork on the right hand side and the knife on the left hand side. And I know that's just second nature to a lot of people, but there's standards to this shit. And the only reason that these standards have value is because of the cosmos that they're compared in, because the opposite of that is unstandardized. And I think a lot of experience of being at the bottom, of being poor, of being absolutely broke is indispensable in a lot of ways. And I know I keep saying and, I need to stop more. Sadly, in some ways, I was born quite wealthy. So unless I deliberately do it, because I'm not stupid, I'm logical I'm very conscious about how money works. if I was to be broke in its most raw form, as in literally £0 in the bank, it would have to be deliberate and almost irrational in the short term, but you could say rational in the long. So number 3 is experiences at the bottom / with no money, because it also teaches you to be resourceful too. When you don't have a lot of things or a lot of options, you have to make do with what you have. You have to just accept the shit you've been given, the cards you've been dealt, and make the best situation out of that. And if you can replicate that when you do have options, you'll be a formidable opponent. Trying to think of a 4th point if there is. First-hand experiences, seeking discomfort, experience at the bottom with no money, or at least simulating at the bottom with no money. Because I could just transfer like one day and just say for 7 days, no money. I mean, it's an idea actually. I don't have to go broke that way. Fuck, I had one more point. Be detached from outcomes. Yeah, I mean, that's it really. Because if you were led into believing, as an impressionable young man, that you needed to be doing what 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds are doing, don't be so quick, because getting rich too young is almost sad in a way, because you miss out on a lot of life experience. So those are my thoughts for tonight. I don't know what the title will be, but thank you for staying if you did. Good luck, brother.